Let's talk about something most people don't really notice when planning their migration journey: hidden priority skills. Everyone chases the classic occupations like IT, engineering, or nursing, but Australia's skill lists for 2025 quietly reward people in less obvious areas. If you understand these hidden pathways, your chances at permanent residency can become much smoother. Now, I'm not saying you'll get a PR just because you know how to operate a forklift while juggling, but what I'm sharing today could save you from fighting with thousands of applicants in overcrowded occupations. So, let's dive into the skills you probably haven't thought about. Why hidden skills matter. Australia's migration program is like a massive game of musical chairs. There are limited seats, and everyone rushes when the music stops. But here's the trick: most people run toward the same few chairs: software engineers, accountants, registered nurses, and the competition is fierce. Hidden skills, on the other hand, are like chairs off in the corner. They may not look glamorous, but they're still real chairs, and sometimes they even have cushions. That's where the opportunity lies. Because of this, occupations tied to regional needs often become priority, and here's where the hidden skills start to appear. Think of roles like agricultural technicians or even meat processing supervisors. These aren't what you'd find on a typical career fair poster, but they're exactly what regional employers are crying out for. Agriculture and food supply roles. One of the strongest hidden skill categories is anything tied to food production. Australia has massive export markets, from beef to wine, and it constantly needs people in roles that support this system. For 2025, occupations linked to agriculture have been quietly pushed up in priority. It's not just farm workers, though those matter too. It's the technical roles: agricultural consultants who help farmers modernize practices, soil scientists making sure land isn't destroyed after years of farming, viticulture specialists, because yes, Australia takes wine very seriously. These jobs may sound niche, but they're actually gold mines when it comes to PR. Few people apply, but the demand is steady. And if you think soil science sounds boring, remember: no soil, no food, no wine. Suddenly it feels heroic. Infrastructure and the not-so-obvious builders. Australia is still in construction mode, especially with housing shortages and big transport projects. But here's the twist: while everyone knows about civil engineers, there are hidden construction-related roles that quietly sit in demand. For instance, quantity surveyors who manage project costs, and surveying technicians who literally map out the land. Also, lift mechanics, because if you've ever been stuck in an Australian apartment where the lift is broken, you'll understand why they matter. These aren't the front-page glamour jobs, but without them, projects stall. And when projects stall, governments panic, which is why they quietly bump these skills onto priority pathways. Community and social service roles. This one surprises a lot of people. While healthcare is always on the radar, there are hidden gems in community support. For example, disability support coordinators and aged care service managers. Australia's population is aging, and the demand for structured care management is exploding. Many people think only nurses or doctors can secure PR through healthcare, but these managerial and support roles are quietly building priority status. They often require practical experience rather than lengthy university degrees, making them easier to step into compared to medicine or advanced nursing. Logistics and supply chain. Here's a category that exploded after the pandemic: logistics. Everyone suddenly realized how fragile supply chains are, and Australia, being an island nation, takes this very seriously. In 2025, priority is being given to roles like logistics managers who plan supply routes, transport engineers designing better freight systems, warehouse managers who keep everything moving smoothly. You may not become famous in logistics, but let's be honest, without it, your favorite online shopping order never arrives. So, in the eyes of immigration, logistics professionals are essential. Education, but not just teachers. When people hear education, they think, oh, school teachers. But here's the hidden angle. Australia is short not just of classroom teachers, but of specialised educators and trainers. For example, vocational education trainers who prepare workers for trades, special education teachers focusing on disability support, and early childhood centre managers rather than just frontline teachers. These roles carry priority because Australia understands that without a strong education pipeline, the skill shortage problem just repeats itself. It's like fixing a leaky roof by mopping the floor. You need to go to the source. Environmental and renewable energy skills. This is where things get futuristic. Australia is investing heavily in renewable energy, green infrastructure, and climate adaptation. So, hidden within the skill lists are roles like environmental engineers for sustainable projects, hydrologists to manage water resources, wind turbine technicians because yes, those giant fans don't fix themselves. While most people still chase IT, the renewable sector is quietly growing, and skilled professionals here often fast-track their migration outcomes. The tech skills nobody talks about. Everyone knows about software engineering, but what about the less flashy tech roles? Australia needs ICT support technicians who are not glamorous, but without them, half of corporate Australia would still be trying to find the Wi-Fi password. Cybersecurity analysts' demand is rising fast because cybercrime costs the country billions. Also, data administrators are needed. This is not the rock stars of tech, but the ones who keep the databases from imploding. These jobs may not trend on LinkedIn as much, but when it comes to immigration, they quietly secure priority. The skilled trades advantage. Another area often overlooked is skilled trades. Everyone thinks trades are only for apprentices or people who grew up working with their hands. But in reality, these trades are in crisis because fewer young Australians are entering them. So, if you're a skilled welder, electrician, or fitter, your chances at PR are very high. But even more hidden are specialised trades like stonemasons, roof tilers, and glaziers. These aren't careers most international students dream about, but they're the exact skills sitting on shortage lists year after year. Now, let's be clear, no PR pathway is truly easy. There's paperwork, points, and patience involved. But compared to oversaturated occupations, hidden skills reduce competition. It's like trying to get into a packed nightclub. You could stand in the main line for hours, or you could notice that the side door is wide open because no one realized it's an entrance. Hidden skills are that side door. You may not be an agricultural scientist, but if your background is in biology or environmental management, you could align with those roles after some training. If you're aiming for PR this year, don't just follow the crowd. Look for the skills Australia quietly promotes, because those are where the opportunities hide. Agriculture, logistics, renewable energy, community services, niche trades. These are the areas fewer people chase, but where the need is urgent. So, before you finalize your study plan, work experience, or visa strategy, ask yourself, am I chasing the crowded chair, or am I smart enough to grab the comfortable seat nobody noticed?